Welcome to the front seat of the Porsche Taycan. No, not the last version. This is the new hotness. This is the 2025 Taycan. And yes, I know it looks similar to the outgoing model, but there are some design tweaks. But more importantly, all of the changes under the skin are the important bits. Because, holy shit, this isn't even the fast one. Back down for a second. All right, what did they do? Well, they've made them quicker, they've given them more power, they also have better range, they charge faster, and they have bigger batteries. That's what you want. Porsche has taken a very good car and made it an excellent car. That's what Porsche does. On the outside, the thing still looks fantastic. It's just subtle styling tweaks. The headlights are where you can really see it. I think there's some tweak to the rear tail light as well. Different wheel designs, stuff like that. But it still looks like a very clean, sleek, sporty sedan. It has since it debuted. On the inside, it's just as wonderful. This one has this glass roof over my head, which I would not opt for because unlike the one on the wagons, which can go from opaque to transparent, I think this one just sits as it is. And I do not like that because when you get into it on a hot day, it says 92 right now. It's hot as hell in the cabin of the car. I know it's UV protected and coated. It's still hot in here. It'd be great if it could like dissipate some of the heat somehow. I don't know how it would do that without draining your battery. Now, in terms of performance and driving, it's a Taycan. It drives wonderfully. This specifically is the 4S, so all-wheel drive, dual motor. This has the Performance Battery Plus instead of just the regular battery. Both of them get an upgrade. This one now is 97 kilowatt hours of net usable battery capacity. It's also 509 horsepower when you're just driving around, 523 pound-feet of torque, but it's up to 536 horsepower in slight overboost moments as needed. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the upgrades here for the 2025 Taycan. And some of this will be specific to the whole lineup, and if it's specific to the 4S, I'll mention it. It's still an 800-volt architecture system, but you can charge 50 more kilowatts faster. So you can do up to 320 kilowatts on a DC fast charger that's working and ready to dole out that much. And it can do as much as if you're on a 400-volt charging system, it can split it up into two 150-volt banks to keep you moving quickly as well. It's pretty trick there. It's a larger battery, but you can charge faster and it's lighter. You can go from 10 to 80% theoretically in 18 minutes, which sounds pretty darn fantastic. Up front, the Taycans get restyled fenders. It's just tweaked slightly. Turbo and Turbo S models have Turbonite, which is a color that sets them apart. But the headlights are also different. These are called, where's my note here? LED HD matrix lights. So it's just that four-pointed Porsche signature now. It's brighter. It has more of a three-dimensional quality to it. They all get new rear motors with more power to them as well. Air suspension, adaptive air suspension is standard across the line now, even on the base Taycan, which is pretty great. But back to this 4S specifically, Porsche quotes a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds. Because this is the Performance Battery Plus, it's the bigger battery of 97 kilowatt hours of net usable battery, so that's how much you can actually use. Quarter mile, 11.7, 295 miles of range, 536 horsepower in the overboost mode, which is brief, 509 horsepower just in general at all times, and 523 pound-feet of torque. This thing weighs 4,976 pounds, but it doesn't feel like it. Porsche does a really good job of that. Now, to be even crazier, the new top dog of the Taycan family is the Turbo GT, specifically with the Weissach package, but just the Turbo GT in general makes 1,019 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds, which is crazy. And of course, it starts at $230,000. This one starts at $118,000. As tested, this one is like $145,000 or $150,000. I'll put the exact price up, but it's because of the paint, it's because of the audio system, it's because of the interior. It's Porsche, so it's because of every little thing you want is expensive. But there you go. That's the overview of the new 2025 Porsche Taycan. It has more usable battery, but also charges faster, more power, better range. I mean, that's what you want when someone improves an EV. These things handle better than they have any right to. The brakes are confidence inspiring, which is wonderful in an electric vehicle. They tweak the displays a little bit with updated graphics or just, I don't know if it's graphics specifically, but they say they tweak the displays. They look very similar to me, so I probably should have taken a deeper dive into that. But this is an incredibly short loan with this car because it's the new. I'm literally getting a few hours of drive time in this vehicle to get acquainted with it. It got dropped off yesterday. I drove it briefly to pick up dinner. I'm driving it more today, and they pick it up like first thing tomorrow. So normally I have these cars for a week. Not the case this time. But what I've learned in my short time with it is that I still love it. It still hauls just tremendous amounts of ass. I've driven basically every gamut. I haven't spent any time with the rear-wheel drive Taycan, which is a bit of a shame because I'd really like to drive that one because I've heard very good things, that it's just really enjoyable. And it's the least expensive one. But from 4S on up through everything else I've driven, 4S for the 2025, everything else is the prior, I guess, generation of this car. Those are all wonderful. I've road tripped them up and down California. Just a very big fan of the Taycan in general. Let's take a little detour so we can try launch control real quick. I'm also, because I'm gonna put this on the social meteors, gonna put on my dork glasses. I'm going to narrate for this while I also do it in there. I'm going to go down and turn around though. The dork spectacles. Here we go. Let's turn these on. All right, this is what it's like to do launch control in a Porsche Taycan. Hard on that, hard on that. Let's go. Oh, baby! Oh, God, that pulls hard. Oh, still pulling. Let's stop. We're going to run out of room. This is good, very good. And now we can put away the dork glasses. I actually like these. They're really good for, like, if you're doing POV videos of working on a car. I've used them while mountain biking. They stay on. You can listen to music through them while you're riding, so I don't have to have headphones in. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Now, let's talk about price of these things because the price has gone up. The base price I think the base price is like $110. This is above that, it's $118, and then the sky's the limit. Like I said, the Turbo GT is $230, and that's before the Weissach package. So yeah, you can spend just an incredible amount of money on these. It's crazy that you could get a Lucid Air for less because the Lucid Air Pure, which does less horsepower than this one, but they've priced that at like just over 60. And obviously they need to sell cars. So that's interesting actually when you think about that, because Lucids are amazing. Even that base Lucid, which I haven't driven the base, is supposed to be pretty darn impressive, but I've driven a Grand Touring Performance and that was a monster, 1,050 horsepower, lovely inside, wonderful driving experience. Most people don't realize that Lucids actually handle really well too. Massive brakes, just very, very good machines. So interesting price proposition there. Now, a Porsche is a Porsche. So, you know, it's cliche to say, and I make fun of myself for doing it, but over the years of driving more and more Porsche products, man, their taglines and all their advertising, they really kind of nail it because these things are just spectacular automobiles. The steering wheel just feels perfect in your hands. Visibility is good. The handling feel is excellent, and the seat, and these aren't even crazy seats because you can get crazier seats, not in this model, but you know, as you go up the ladder. These seats are excellent. Just everything about it. It looks good. This blue paint is fantastic. Just wonderful stuff. Hey, white Vantage. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one in that color. So the changes here have led us to a vehicle where, like I've already said this 100 times, Porsche has taken a very good car and made it fantastic. And I can't wait to see how these similar changes feel on basically the sibling car, the Audi e-tron, the RS e-tron GT, because I love the way that Audi looks. I think it's nicer inside too. In an episode of Head Head Drag Race, we drove one and put it against the Hoonitron, which was hilarious. But later in the episode, I had to do like a pseudo fake gymkhana that we set up on Streets of Willow, and you can get that thing to drift, which is incredible. It is a super fun car to drive, just hampered by not the greatest battery tech. That's changed because it's getting the upgrades that this basically got. So it's going to have faster charging, more range, more power, all that good stuff. So as good as the Taycan is now for 2025, I think the bigger leap in terms of just becoming a better car actually happens on the Audi side. Because the Porsche was always good. The Audi was like, man, this feels like it should be better. And now it sounds like they're both great.